our works potentially give us rewards in heaven?
Would you preach on the street if you knew we was going to arrest you?
I love that. I love that.
Fish and chips for the mark of the beast. Find out on this episode of Faith Hacks Podcast.
God is coming down from the sky. He's going to judge us all.
The last order of my night was at Chili's.
How did it smell?
Bad. It smelled really bad. It's funny because I like doing Chili's orders because it reminds me of The Office. So I generally tend to take them, but the inside smelled bad and the food smelled like warm vomit.
That's gross.
It was
Love
gross.
that for you.
It was really nasty. Having to do a 20-minute trip with it in my car, I was like,
That's really gross. That's so gross.
Gross. Well, the reason why I ask is because we went to Chili's there on 31. That's the one you went to, I assume? Yeah. We went to Chili's for a date shortly after we
Years
were
ago.
married. Yeah.
Oh, so this is a while back. Doesn't feel like it, but it is.
Shortly after we were married. And we just created this whole backstory of our waiter.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Why don't you tell some of the details?
Oh, no.
He had a
About-
dog named Chili.
Okay.
He's obsessed with Chili's.
Chili is a good dog name, though.
He was
Yeah.
a Chihuahua.
Yeah, it was a Chihuahua.
Oh, that's a good dog
A
name.
very overweight Chihuahua.
I bring it Chili's.
Very overweight.
And he started a heated romance with another franchise owner in another state
How did you guys?
at a Chili's convention. And they fell in love, but neither of them actually, they didn't get together because eventually they did not get together because they loved their individual Chili's so much that they couldn't part from it to be together.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
There's a lesson to that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you know what? It didn't smell at that time.
Well, that's
Did
good.
not.
That's
and then
good.
Ben and I tried to go again, like, what, a year or two later?
Yeah.
And it, like, we walked in
And we
And-
walked out.
and we walked out. Like, the smell was horrific. And you know what? I bet that guy left to go be with his true love.
Oh.
Probably. Finally.
And that's where the quality dropped.
yeah.
But you know what? The one that they both work at? Phenomenal.
I bet it is.
It's like a 5-star of Chili's.
I bet.
Yeah, I went to, it's
if
weird.
you can have a 5-star chili, that would be it.
That'd be it.
You left Chili's for me? I'd never stay there.
No, he wasn't
Not
fat.
when you're-
His dog was.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd never stay there when you're here.
Meanwhile, the dog.
Oh man, it was weird though. I mean, I went to Buffalo Wild Wings today, and it smelled like a chemical got spilled in there.
That's gross.
Yeah, I even told like it was bad enough where I like brought it up. I was like,
Usually
"Hey,
doesn't.
I know it doesn't." I was like, "Hey, does it smell funny in here to you guys?" And they're like, "I can't smell." I was like, "Okay."
That's not a good sign.
I know. It's like maybe this
I
is
can't
one of those call the fire department things. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Maybe you
Oh.
shouldn't eat there.
Poison control or something.
Well, it's funny though because I've been doing life drawing a lot more, like because I'm out and about, at various restaurants, and we'll see how mean this is, but I sit outside of Portillo's a lot because it just has a nice driveway and a good restroom. They keep the restroom there relatively clean.
That's fair.
And so I do a lot of life drawing of the people going in and out of Portillo's.
I like Portillo's.
Yeah, I mean it's probably good. I've never eaten there.
They make a decent, like, that's where we got the idea of like the pepper, or at least me. I got the peppers on the hot dog with
Ooh.
the onion, and what else do they put on them?
I don't remember.
I
But
don't know.
you're thinking of a Chicago dog.
Sure.
So
Well, but they're
Where are
chocolate
you?
cake. They're
Oh, yeah.
chocolate cake milkshakes.
apparently those are really
Those
good.
are good.
They're 1,000 calories.
They're
but
really
they're
good.
so
Oh my
good.
gosh, that's half the things I could eat in a day.
I mean, literally, I think that it's 900 calories or something.
Well, keep that calorie thought in mind when I tell this. So when you're
I
gesture
knew where
drawing,
this was going.
when you're gesture drawing, your first goal is to capture the pose. So you do like a quick pose, and then you break down the basic shapes of the body. Because you're like, okay, the head is kind of squarish,
right,
the body,
the skeleton.
well, even less than the skeleton. You're looking at like
Shape.
if someone has like a shirt on, maybe it makes them look more squarish, right? Portillo's has a lot of rounds, almost exclusively circular shapes.
I think that's just where we live.
Yeah.
See, I thought so too, but no, because other places that I draw, there's more variation in the figures and the shapes. Sometimes, there's little squares. Sometimes there's triangles. A lot of rounds of
It's
Portillo's.
that chocolate cake milkshake.
Kind of wonder.
Chocolate cake milkshake. That thing is good.
It is about, I would wager about 85% round.
Yeah.
Round shapes,
It's
circular
that,
shapes.
It's that milkshake, man. I'd drink a whole one if I didn't know how many calories it was.
I had no idea. That's freaking a lot.
It's a lot.
1,000
It's got
calories is a lot.
It's got a whole piece of cake in it.
Oh,
And then
my
it's a
gosh.
milkshake.
My
It's
gosh.
genius.
Well, I mean, I guess now you see
Genius and delicious.
why the shapes are so common
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you check the camera, hun, and see if I'm in focus?
Oh,
I can't see from here. It's pointed at me. We need to check if we're in focus.
That gives
'Cause
me
I'm
time.
like blurry on like half the podcast videos because I can never get it right because I can't see it. In my highlighted blue, like are there spots on me highlighted blue, like maybe the emblem or the glasses? Okay, that's all I need. You're good. You can flip it back to me.
the blue is slowly starting to crawl up your face. It's oh my gosh, it's starting to become your body.
I'm blue, da boo. Do you remember that movie?
I don't-
Big Fat Liar. I'm blue, da
never
boo,
saw it.
da boo, da.
I thought the commercials looked pretty great, though.
It was a fun movie. I liked it when I was little.
Who's the lead actor? Is that a Adam
Frankie
Sandler?
Muniz, right?
Yeah, Frankie Muniz.
Oh, I thought it was an Adam Sandler.
Good
flick.
old Frankie.
What am I thinking of? Liar? Adam Sandler, where he can't not tell a lie,
I don't know.
I don't know.
where he has to tell the truth. You guys don't know that one? It's like kind of a classic.
I think you're thinking Jim Carrey.
You are thinking Jim Carrey because I think it's. Is it? No, it's not. Yes, Man.
Yeah, it's no.
No, there's another movie where they can't lie.
There seems to be a lot of movies with this theme.
Yeah.
Perhaps there is an Adam
I'm
Sandler, a
confused.
Jim Carrey. There was a couple of them. There was a Dave Franco one, a James Franco one too. His brother.
Jim Carrey is liar.
Oh, okay, so it was Jim Carrey. I can't lie. We had a friend in high school that had extremely similar mannerisms to Jim Carrey. Yeah, that's the one. Steven.
Oh,
He just kind of the way he carried himself, especially
I
like
could
if you
see
would
it.
see.
I could see it.
I thought Jim Carrey was the funniest person when I was in middle school.
He's
You
still
would.
pretty funny. Apparently, he's Christian. Yeah.
That's what I've heard too.
Oh, Ben, don't be
I'd
so
have to-
skeptical.
I haven't looked into his story or anything, but
He's a special brand of Christian. He believes in the gloob glorp.
yeah, he's also wearing that tinfoil hat in Hollywood too. He's been blacklisted, I think.
Well, there you go. Now now Ben's like,
No,
He went from
I don't
to
know about that. Mm.
Oh, come on. If you're blacklisted, that's a good sign. It's actually really
That's
messed
true.
up.
The devil worshippers don't want you there. That's a good sign.
I would say so.
Yeah.
when they get mad and they push you out, that's usually a sign that there's something genuine going on there.
Yeah. But I thought he was hilarious.
Ooh, he's funny.
So funny. He
I haven't seen
definitely
too
was
many of his movies, to be
inappropriate.
honest.
I've seen
Oh,
a ton.
Ben.
He definitely has a lot of inappropriate humor, but
He was in Sonic 1. He was
So
in Sonic
funny.
2. He was also in Sonic 3.
was he in all the? He was in Sonic movies.
Yeah. He's Robotnik.
I'm glad I didn't watch any of those.
Oh, Ben. Well, actually, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
I was thinking like, Dumb and Dumber, obviously. and like
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that. You made me watch that. Yeah.
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura was funny.
I remember there was one scene where he's inside this hippo.
Rhino thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one.
And it like looks like it's giving birth to him. Like
So cursed.
I haven't.
That's how
seen
Ben
that
gets
in
out of the
20
Grinch
years.
costume.
That is how I get out of the Grinch costume every year.
I haven't seen that in 20 years, but I will never forget that moment.
There's some moments in movies that are like they bridge between funny and scarring, and that's one of those ones that
Yes.
manages that perfect in between.
Rides
Yep.
that line.
It truly does.
Like just horrifying enough where you're like, I will remember that.
Yeah.
Forever.
The Office is filled with those.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Yeah.
the whole show is that. Riding the line between painful to watch but also funny.
Except for Scott's Tots.
That one hurt Ben.
That's bad.
I couldn't watch it all.
Scott's
I couldn't
Tots
watch
is
it all. I was
bad.
just like, I can't do this.
That's the hardest
It makes me
episode
feel
to watch.
so bad.
And then like the most
This doesn't give me the funnies. It gives me the bad feelings.
I wonder if there's a show that's just exclusively that, like cringe, that's trying to, like the challenge is to watch it.
I don't think so because it wouldn't last.
I mean, it could if it became like a challenge. Like you're like, we know that we're like making these horrifying scenarios. We challenge you to watch every episode.
No, I don't think.
I think
people
that's
watch
what
that.
The Office was. I think
But
that's,
take out all the lovable and funny. Make it
Yeah.
just Scott's Tots every episode, but in another scenario. Just horrible things that no one wants to find themselves in every episode.
I don't remember who wrote that episode, but whoever did, like
they captured
they need
it.
help.
Yeah, they do.
They're like, well, actually, my inspiration, I had this horrible nightmare, you see, just this awful nightmare. Woke up in a cold sweat, and I thought that would be funny.
And then the other one that's really bad. It's not as bad, but the other one that's really bad is what is the dinner party with Jan
Oh, and they
Michael.
throw the... That one's pretty funny.
It's so bad. That's the one where they have to wait 3 hours for the chicken to braise or something.
Can you text Dad? And we're in a podcast, and if it's an emergency, he should let us know.
Did he call you?
He's calling right now. Currently calling, interrupting our podcast.
How rude.
Do you have a toddler tune for us?
Yeah, hold
Do you
on.
wanna wait to go see if
I
your
got to
dad-
text your dad,
Mhm.
remember?
We should probably wait to see if your dad has...
Oh,
do it.
I'm sure it's fine. 99.9%, it's fine.
Oh, I was just checking to see how the boys were doing.
Did they go to sleep okay?
Yep.
I found
That's
this cool
probably what
stick
it
in the
is.
yard.
Shot another squirrel.
I think I killed that groundhog.
Finally got him.
Sorry, unalive the groundhog. We're on YouTube time.
Let's see here. Toddler tunes.
Oh.
No.
No. Levi's reaction to it every time.
Oh. Oh, okay. He said it is an emergency.
Wow.
All right, hold on. Pause.
Hope it's okay.
Oh, wait, no, he said everything's okay. Sorry. I asked the wrong question and saw his response. Sorry. Everything's okay.
Ben's
That's
stomach,
what he needs. I'm curious.
Psych.
Ben's stomach sank. My stomach sank.
My stomach did not sink.
I was
just
crying.
Like,
Ben's like, it'll be okay, Levi.
all that happened all on screen right now.
It was all
paused
cut.
just for a
It was
second, yeah.
just cut, all of it. I said, I don't know if it'll be all right, Ben. I don't know if it'll ever be all right. Ben had to calm me down by getting me some cocoa.
Yep.
Anyway, I do have a toddler tune.
Oh.
Toddler tunes.
Take two. You get two this episode.
So this one is Waymaker.
Ooh, okay.
And you might have to help me because we learned new lyrics this morning. So it's Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness.
Right.
My God, that is who you are. Right? So Samuel sings a lot of the words. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light is a darkness.
Samuel sneaks in all these like they're
Heretical
funny.
things.
They're not even heretical. They're funny, but they're foreboding.
Yeah.
They're always foreboding.
They are
Like what was the
foreboding.
last one? Like don't check in the closet or something. And it's like he always has these weird lines to like.
So
The eyes always see you. It's like what does that mean, Samuel? Just little hints of foreboding in his songs.
a little bit. So yeah, light is a darkness. By God.
Ah.
As is you, we are.
This is you. Hey, I mean that's in the ballpark.
Yeah. That's in the ballpark.
That's in the ballpark.
It's
That's
just,
all right.
It's just silly. It's
As
funny.
is you, we are. You know the worst part about toddler tunes is sometimes I will sit there and I'll be listening to the songs and I'll sing Sam's version.
That's good.
That's great.
It's
I love that
super
for
ate up.
That's good.
I think his versions are
that.
funnier.
you. They are definitely funnier. Sometimes I the only one that I really sing his version of is Down by the Bay because it's so just nonsensical. Bound by the Bay. That was on the last episode.
Yeah,
but
right.
yeah.
It's a
Don't you
callback.
dare rehash that.
You have to see the last episode for that.
That got us down the horrible rabbit hole we were in for a while.
So you want to hear the story?
No,
I was gonna ask if there was a part 2.
Chapter 2.
there is not. There
The love of Dorian and
100% is
Speed.
not. What
Hey,
did Dad say? Did you
you
text him and
said-
ask him what was up?
I just said, "Is everything okay?" And he said, "Yes."
Okay, ask him what he needs. Ben wants to know what he needs.
In the meantime,
No,
chapter 2.
no. Anyways, this is a good point to say, let's get our show started.
On a cold summer day, I walked out of my cave, the cave we both shared.
After giving her a fish for 30 days.
There she was, the vision of beauty on the horizon, running at all fours back to the
All
cave.
right.
Why do you hate
We're gonna
this
clap.
so much?
It's so funny. I love that he hates it.
We're going to clap.
But I love it.
We're going to pray. We're going to get the show
Get
started.
out of here, Vin says. Get out of
We're
here.
doing a 180.
For real though, we gained a subscriber. We
2.
didn't lose any.
2.
We gained 2. So maybe this is what the
I
people
think,
want.
I think the rapture was... Talk about the rapture was a good part of that.
I think
If
this
you
is-
want to hear more and you don't think Ben is right, put please bring back Smeagol in the comments. And in the next episodes, it'll start to take over more and more and more until it's a podcast of the story with some light biblical elements at the end. On a special 2-hour episode. How did he rescue her from the orcs? Find out today. He hates it so much.
You guys ready to hear about Revelations?
Yeah.
It's the end of the world, the apocalypse is here.
Jazz hands. Yeah.
I wish I had rhythm.
I wish I did.
Like our live band.
I know it.
They have a lot of rhythm. Thanks, Stevie.
Stevie and the what?
Stevettes. Stevie and the Harpies.
So talking about Revelations, the end times.
Stevie and the Nixes. Okay.
Revelations, the end times.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things out there. And, I'm just going to say every podcast because don't build your life on speculation. Jesus gave us instructions on what to do.
Okay.
Occupy till I come.
Mhm.
I say that because I just watched another video. Someone sent me a video of the people saying, "Oh, the rapture's here. We're going to sell our stuff." And I just watched
Another
video.
one?
Yeah.
Is there
Not another one, but just a rehashing of the
Oh,
other one. Just
okay.
different
I was
people.
gonna say, didn't you just learn from the one 2 weeks ago?
Jamie, we got one every week. Okay.
Feels
It
like it
wasn't 2
sometimes.
weeks ago, but this is the real one.
It's coming in waves. We're raptured in waves. The best
Oh.
ones get raptured first. We'll go eventually.
That's
Ben's.
probably an actual theory, though.
It was
People
very
probably think
humbling
that.
for Ben. I'll tell you.
To not be in the first round draft pick.
Ben got lumped in with us. All right. How do you think he feels about
How
that?
do you think he'll feel when I get put up in the next wave and he doesn't?
He'll be here with me. I'll be like, yep. How does that feel, Ben? I'll just be smug about it. He'll go immediately after me. I'll be like, oh, pride. Yeah. Shoot.
Well, dang.
I was boastful there, wasn't I? Yeah.
Now, that is not a real thing. And
no.
rapture
it's a
doesn't come in
joke.
waves.
That was a joke.
Oh, well, I just don't want any weird theology, people getting the wrong ideas.
No.
But the Bible says, occupy till I come. It talks about what we should be doing in all holiness, in conduct, in manner of speaking, and godliness. So you want to make sure that you follow what the word says about what you should be doing. Because whether you get raptured tomorrow or you die of old age, in the grand scheme of things, you're meeting Jesus very soon.
Oh, yeah. Life's but a vapor.
Very soon. Life is but a vapor. But that being said, it's fun to talk about. It's interesting. It's in the word for a reason. We're going to dive into it in 1 Thessalonians 4:16.
Yeah, Revelations is fun to talk about.
Yes.
Oh.
And this is talking about the
You are
end
going
times.
to die, and that's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a great thing. We're Christians actually are not going to die.
right.
They're
You
gonna
get
be
swallowed up by life.
Yeah.
So
love
let's
that.
talk about how quick your life is going to end.
On this very special episode.
It's over. It's just the title of the podcast. It's over. And there's like a skull. That's all there is.
It's over.
That would be so ominous.
Yeah. Our normal viewers are like, what?
Excuse me?
And they come in on us talking about chilies and they're like, I'm so confused.
What is this levity?
Yeah. 1 Thessalonians 4:16 says, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God." And that what's interesting about this verse, it's talking about the Lord descending from heaven at the end times with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God. And
I wanted to make a joke about the Trump.
he's in Bible prophecy.
It's a Bible prophecy. No.
It's here.
Okay.
I'm the last one.
Another
There's
joke.
no more
Another
after
joke.
me.
God's coming with me.
It says right there in Thessalonians.
He goes, toot, toot.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
It's almost over.
Well, the Greek word for that word trump is actually really interesting because
It's Donald. I'm just kidding. Okay, we're done. We're done.
All right, you want to do this podcast?
Go on.
I need to start getting in the mindset of like reels and stuff again because I want to start doing that again.
Okay,
And I
sorry.
keep getting interrupted. No, I'm kidding. It's totally fine. It's hilarious.
This isn't how I planned this.
I hate this. I give up. I'm done.
Oh, you guys are so funny. You guys are so funny. Ha ha ha.
You got me right in the funny bone.
Just throws the book down and walks downstairs.
Poor Ben. He doesn't
Getting
want
out
a
of the
funny.
studio.
Jamie, do we
He
keep
doesn't
the
want a
episode?
funny podcast.
Anyways,
Go on, Ben.
so he comes with this trump, and it's the Greek word. It was a well-known Greek word that Paul used for trump, and it was I'm gonna butcher the language. Greek. I'm reading it. I didn't even bother to look up how it sounded. So, but I think it's Salphinx.
Salphinx?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was used, it was blasted when an army was basically coming to intimidate another army. It was a cry for war for them to get in line and get going. And it would basically was designed to cause fear in the other army.
Okay.
And so
Any relation to a chauffeur or any sort of like...
no.
Okay.
It was more of a long, and they like pointed at the ground. But the moment it's apparently was a deafening sound, and it would send terror into the enemies. Or that's what at least was meant to do. So when he's saying this, he's saying God's coming with his army, and he's blowing this trumpet as a sound of a declaration of like war to bring terror to his enemies when he comes down, when he descends from the heavens.
Okay.
And it's really interesting because it also was used in the courts. And they would blow this trump when so let's smile. But the trumpet was blasted, and it meant that the judgment against the defendant was being finalized. And so it would cause terror in that person. And so it's the moment when God blasts this trump in judgment, it was also, he's blasting as this is judgment upon the earth.
This is the final
This
judgment.
is the final judgment coming. So when he descends from the
that's
clouds, he's calling out for war, putting terror in the enemy, and he's mobilizing his army, and he's blasting, symbolizing a final judgment coming, or a judgment coming down. And so, and like the righteous law is about to be enacted.
Ooh, that's nice.
So I thought that was a really cool, interesting, because you read that and you think Donald Trump when you read 1 Thessalonians chapter 4:16.
You're like, oh, I didn't know that this was a prophecy.
But when you look at what the
guilty.
word meant,
You're fired for life. It's over. You're done.
you're done. I said, don't cry, don't cry.
I threw them all into Sheol. There they go. Into the pits of the earth. You had your chance. God's coming. You're going down.
That's so cursed, man.
Actually, it kind of reminds me of the Chronicles of Narnia
Does it?
Why?
because of the in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. They have like this big battle, and
Oh, okay, that, not Trump. I was like, I don't think he was in it, was he?
I am Aslan. This is my beautiful mane. It's very real. Very real. People say, how'd you get such a beautiful mane? I said, I was born with it. Comb it every day.
We got to get off this.
We gotta go. We gotta get
I
out.
was trying.
You were trying. That was my fault, but I imagined it, and it was so funny.
But yeah, it just kind of reminds me, like when you were telling the story, it just kind of reminds me of Chronicles of Narnia
Yeah.
a little bit.
But I just thought that was interesting. Like, you're seeing like all this, end time stuff and things going on, and
Welcome to
it's
the
interesting
wardrobe.
some of like the things that you. It's interesting some of the things that you can pick up when you study, like look at what the Greek words were behind these things, and like what was that word used for in that time, and things like that.
Oh, I love doing those studies where you find the like either the Hebrew or the Greek, and you delve into it because you get so much more context, especially more so the Hebrew than the Greek. I mean, a lot of times the Greek, but the Hebrew tends to have quite a few definitions per word,
true.
whereas the Greek tends to be closer to the translations.
Sometimes, yeah. But like with Trump, I think that was an interesting thing because like, it is a translation of what that was.
Right.
But like why he used that specific word for that and that specific trumpet.
And it can lead you.
Try not to say
It can
trumpet.
keep you from being. If you do that word study, you'll no longer be deceived that trumpet part of the prophecy.
Right.
Hey, what are you saying? Take that back.
But, I think people are so, you don't want to get so caught up in times and all that where you lose focus and lose sight of things like, God's coming back. He's issuing a final judgment, and he's issuing a rally. He will issue a final judgment and a rally call. And as believers, you want to make sure you're going, okay, like what it says, I think it's in 1 John, was do everything you can, make it your aim to please the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And so not getting distracted with all these different things. But, like it says in 2 Peter chapter 3, the earth is going to burn up. The heavens are going to go out with a roar. I think the earth is going to burn up somewhere else, but the heavens were going to go out with a roar or with a shout or with a loud noise. And he's like, in light of all this, what kind of person ought you to be in holy conversation and godliness?
Well, and one thing that I always keep in mind, because you can really, especially as it starts becoming more and more obvious what the times we're living in are, it can become very easy to either withdraw or become lackadaisical or even think, oh, well, it doesn't matter because I might not even see the end of my works. And that could even be somebody who, it's not even the fact that the end of the world's coming, but they might have, heard a bad report, or they might even just feel that way. They might say, oh, well, I don't think I'm going to be around much longer.
Right.
It might even just be a feeling they have. But in Matthew 24:46, the verse, I mean, let me see if I can find the translation that I like. All these heretical, not King James versions. But it says, blessed is that servant whom his master, when he comes, will find so doing.
Right.
And it's basically the fact that your goal on this earth has not changed.
Right.
No matter what the time period is, no matter what it's one of those things where they say like
where you're at in the timeline.
Right. They say that like a pastor never retires.
Yeah.
Because the job's not done till it's over.
Right.
It's
sorry,
one of
honey.
What'd you say?
I said, sorry, honey.
But it's a true thing. It never ends.
Right.
It's because the job doesn't end till you're done, till the race is over, because, it could be one of those things where it might be quite a ways off. It could be tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It could be in 5 minutes. We might not even be done with this podcast. Okay.
But Jamie.
As we
I'm
just
the only one here. Oh no, I'm the only one gone.
Ben, edit our clothes just on the chairs now. But it's one of those things where your job hasn't changed, and you'll be, blessed is the man whose master comes home to find the servant working.
Right.
Are you going to keep working till the end point? Are you going to be going about your father's work up to that end point? That's why it says to be ready in and out of season. That's why it says to be constantly in prayer. It's one of those things where you want to be ready because you don't know when it's the end of the world or it's your end of the world.
Right.
Right.
Or you're done here, Exactly. And so you don't want to base your decisions off predictions and like all these different things.
Well, no, because it's a sobering thought to say, yes, the world will end, but my world will end too.
Yeah, and I think looking at like, we've been talking about in church, but looking at like where, like, this is just the training ground for eternity.
Yeah.
Like there's an eternity on the other side of this. And, we're here, but just for a moment, just for a vapor, just for a blip.
Well, and you get a lot of unique things here that you're not going to have in heaven, which is like you get to know your Father in an interesting way. You have the ability right now to know your Father before you actually get to meet him.
Right.
And, the sense of a more physical meeting, I would say.
Yeah. Before you meet him face to face.
Right.
Your face to face encounter.
A physical, spiritual face to face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah. But I think that, to just kind of expand upon what you said, I think it's important to be about your Father's business because you will be, we talked about how your works will like be counted toward you in
or
heaven,
against you.
or against you. They'll either be
Whether
burned
up or they'll last for an eternity.
And so if you're just sitting around waiting and speculating and just, messing around, like not doing anything worthwhile for the eternity, you're not going to have any works that are going to get you anywhere in heaven. Whereas
they won't have an eternal value.
Yeah. And, that's not to say that works get you into heaven. They don't.
No.
But your works do contribute to
your eternal
reward. So, it's mentioned multiple times in the Bible, how in one way or another, like how you steward what you have determines how much more you will be given later. Like there's parables about it with the talents and, there's just different things. And I think that when we get to heaven, if we are told that we didn't steward our time and our resources well, we're not going to be given quite the reward that we could have gotten.
Absolutely.
Well, and the reward too, it's one of those things where it's kind of like the money on earth, how people think that that's a, when they're talking about like the transfer of wealth, your mind goes to money.
Mm-hmm.
It goes to monetary. It goes to physical. When in reality, that transference of wealth is those people.
Right.
It's that, everything that you guys are saying, when I was in that one near-death experience, one of the more sobering thoughts was how little I get to take with me.
Yeah.
Because, I knew that there, at that point, after the first one.
Job 122, naked I came into this earth and naked I will leave.
Right, because, at the end of the day, what you built on this earth, none of that's going with you.
Yep.
The first time that I had that near-death experience, it felt like I was going somewhere. The second time, it felt like, holy crap, how much time have I wasted?
Right.
On things that have no value. Because, at the end of the day, that rare video game collection, what's going to happen to it? All the pitiful amount of money I made, it's just like, that's nothing.
Right.
It kind of even goes back to, it all being vanity. But at the same time, when you kind of are on that doorstep, you count your days that you wasted, you count the time that you wasted, and you realize that very little of it has eternal value. But one thing that I realized that did have eternal value are the people that you reach out to that actually find the Lord. They're the only things in this world that have worth and matter. In terms of what's going with you, that's it. Mm-hmm. It's those people. It puts an impetus on the importance of salvation and sharing it with others when you realize that's the only treasure from this place that can withstand that fire.
Right.
No other treasure is going to withstand the fire. Your games are going to burn away. whether, for me, it was games. So that's why I keep bringing that up. But it's one of those things where it's like, no matter what, rust will take those.
Yeah.
They'll either be destroyed. It could be an EMP, could be fire, any number of things. They have no value in eternity.
Right.
The artwork I make, the popularity or fame that I could have had, burned up in an instant. Who cares? Not going to do you any good.
Right.
God's not going to ask you how famous you were.
Right.
He's not going to ask you how many things you drew. He's not going to ask you how much money you made. He's not going to ask you how many raises you got, how well you did at the job that you were at. He's going to ask you, did you do what I asked you to do? And the treasure that you're going to be able to take with you are those people that you shared the gospel with, that he helped, that the seeds were planted, the seeds that you planted, that he grew. Those are the things that can go with you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's, I think there's a misconception among some Christians where it's like, well, I get saved, so there'll be no judgment. But the Bible says we're going to be judged on what we say, and every idle word will be given an account for. 2 Corinthians, it talks about every person will be judged based off of what they do, whether good or evil in this world. Evil could be translated more worthless. In Romans 14, it says every man will give an account for what they do. And then it goes on. There's more verses. But
there's parables. There's parables.
There's parables.
Jesus literally told several parables about that.
Yeah. So you're going to give an account, whether you like it or not. And what we do with the time here, we're going to give an account for it. And that is going to determine whether or not what we have is burned up, or what we've built is burned up, and what we have done, or it stands for eternity. And so you look at there's, Jesus even said, don't store up treasures where moth and rust does corrupt, but rather store up treasures in heaven. So there is an element where you're looking at this life. You're not going into eternity and going, okay, now I'm being in eternity. You're preparing for it right now, as like a college grad would prepare for going out into their profession.
Yeah.
So what would you say would be the things that can't burn up? I mean, obviously, the fruits of the Spirit and whatnot, but would you say like the ministry that you've had on this earth, is that something that wouldn't be burned up?
God judges even the motives of what we do.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I can even be in ministry, and, we have a small church.
No. Good gasp.
My motive could be going, well, I need to grow this bigger, and I need this or need to do that.
I need more of a following.
Whatever it is.
You may get people saved, but if you have the wrong motive, that's going to be counted against you.
Because, John says, make it our aim to please the Lord. And so what gets burned up and what doesn't, it outlines it, I think, really well in 1 Corinthians 3, where it talks about where your works get burned up or whether they stay. And he talks about those who do not build on the cornerstone. If you don't build on the cornerstone of Christ in what you're doing, and what that means is everything in my life is every decision I make is based around, is this something that would please the Lord? And am I being led by the Holy Spirit in this? And so am I doing this to please the Lord, or am I doing this not to please the Lord? So one way, like a work that could get burned up, is your time at your actual job, for instance. Maybe God placed you somewhere, but if you have a bad attitude, or if you are constantly getting into it with your boss or whatever, then is that work there? Are you doing the work of God and making your aim to please Him in what you're doing? Or are you not? And like, your boss could offend you. He could do something that is against you and egregious. A lot of people have issues with their boss, but they could do something genuinely that wasn't right. And how you respond to that, are you responding out of an eternity mindset and going, okay, I'm making my aim in this situation to please the Lord, not based off how I feel in the moment? Or I just respond, you know what, you're a piece of crap and you're this, you're that, or gossip behind his back. And so you're not building anything that's going to last there. Instead, you're getting it burned up.
Yeah. The Lord just gave me another really good example. So, we talked about like heart posture and like your motives and stuff. But I think another big important one is obedience.
Yeah.
So, you find this with a lot of pastors. Ben does not do this. Disclaimer.
Wow, Jamie, airing out the laundry.
You hear this with a lot of pastors or a lot of people who are in ministry where they pour their hearts into their ministry. And as a result, they end up neglecting in some way their family. And their hearts are in the right place oftentimes. They want to please the Lord.
They forgot their first ministry.
But they were not obedient in putting their family first.
They weren't stewarding what they were given.
They weren't stewarding what they were given. So it's God, your wife, your kids, and your family, and then your profession, your job, your ministry. And
where does Levi fall there?
It's all the way at the bottom, Levi.
Oh no! I knew it. This is why you guys don't call anymore.
And so, like when things are out of order, or when you're not obedient, or even if you go into a profession that you weren't called into because you think that it would be more pleasing to the Lord, but you're not actually obeying what the Lord has told you to do. That can also be counted against you. You may have a good heart about it.
Yeah, you want to be led by the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And that's why, you definitely want to. And I'm glad you specified that, because you do want it. I want to make it my aim to please the Lord. I'm going to listen to what he wants. It's like when Jamie asked me to do something that, like, hey, I like it when you do the dishes or whatever. Just throwing out one. She actually does like when I do the dish a lot.
I do. It makes my
day. And she goes, if you want to do something for me, this is what you can do. And then I run off and do something totally opposite. Yeah, it was good.
Good intentions,
everything like that. But it's not what she asked. If you just keep it simple and go, okay, Lord, where do you want me to do? How do you want me to go about doing this thing? Or what do you want me to do? Then make your aim to please him in that way. And so the Lord maybe won't give you all the things to do, but he'll definitely put something on your heart to like take a first step in doing something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's an important thing. Like, oh, I don't know what my calling is. You go, well, your calling, the Bible outlines it. It's love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Start there.
Yep.
And then as you develop in your relationship with the Lord, opportunities, he'll speak to your heart about something, and just start first steps to grow that and to work towards that. And so you don't want to, overcomplicate it. You don't want to go, oh man, what am I doing now? It's going to get burned up or whatever. Just simply don't get all fretful about it. Instead, just go, okay, Lord, I want to make it my aim to please you where I'm at. Because everyone can do something where they're at. You don't have to leave your job to serve God. You don't have to do this to serve God. I really, truly believe that there's going to be a lot of mothers that get into heaven. And
Even them?
Wow.
That's why I'm getting raptured in the first wave.
And they'll hear, well done, thou good and faithful servant, because you were faithful with what I gave you.
Can't believe it. Even the mothers.
Wow. They're faithful in raising a child to serve the Lord. They're faithful in that.
Yeah.
And so it's a cool thing. Like, you want to make sure what you build, and like, you're building on that chief cornerstone. You're not building off what other people are saying, not building off, these different things, but you build off the word of God. You build off the truth of God's word, and that's your foundation to build everything in your life.
Like the moms.
Wow. Speaking of building, something into your life and building towards the kingdom of God.
Yeah, I see a button press coming.
We have a testimony.
It stops right before he goes into the screamo.
I know.
It sounds
it's good though.
It's that like early 2000s. That's what that is.
Yeah,
that
so
was
good.
That was my jam. Like that genre, that was my jam when I was in
So
middle
good.
school.
Like
and high
hype
school.
rock or something. I don't even know what you call it.
So
Energy rock.
yeah,
It was good.
It was good.
hype you up. It was good. So this testimony I just heard recently, and I was like, I didn't know this, but it Smith Wigglesworth was a very very influential and very great man of God in the 20th century, I would say.
We should look up pictures of him. He looks
And-
just like his name would suggest.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
he he had a great ministry, but he started as a plumber, and he was actually unsaved. And she saw the picture.
his name does him justice. I'll give him that.
It's his eyebrows.
Gotta be Wigglesworth.
Sorry.
hear that there is sin about.
Not in my watch.
Grab my cane, honey. I must beat the sin out of these people.
Sorry. Continue. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was
No.
trying to be subtle.
No, it's fine.
It was worth it. It was so worth it.
So he is unsaved at the time, and his wife is saved, and so she serves him, and obviously she knows the verse where it says, "By your godly conduct, you'll win them over." Talking about, I can't talk tonight. Talking about like how if you are unequally yoked or you have an unsaved spouse, is by your conduct is how you win them over.
It was Paul, wasn't it, who was talking about that?
I think so. I don't remember the exact address. So he is unsaved. He's out at work, and his wife makes him dinner, and she leaves him a note and says, "Hey, here's your dinner." She makes sure it's ready for him, and she goes, "I'm going to go to church." And so she leaves. He gets home, and that apparently royally honks him off. Like really bad. And so
He wanted something pretty to look at while he was eating.
Yeah, exactly.
And they probably have had a conversation about church in the past, and he just didn't like that she was going.
Yeah.
I don't like you going there.
Like,
Do
yeah.
not go to that church.
And so she went to that church, and he actually locked the front door on her. And so she comes home at night. Number one, unsaved people do wild things. But that to me is just like, excuse me?
Both you and
I just
old
can't
Levi
even-
are shaking.
Yeah. I just can't even comprehend or fathom that.
See, Ben, in his imagination, he's thinking the Flintstones opening, except for Jamie tearing down the door and then running in and then blood splattering upon the walls.
I will admit, I need to grow in that area, I think, because I don't think I would have responded quite as graciously.
Benma! Benma!
So she gets locked out. It's night. And so she just falls asleep at the door. Like
Poor girl.
crazy.
That's so
I can't even
sad.
imagine. So falls asleep at the door. She's leaning up against the door. He gets up the next morning and he does his normal routine thing of getting the newspaper.
How can I be particularly evil today?
Yeah, pretty much. And opens the door, and she falls in the threshold because she was asleep at the door. And what she does is just incredible. She pops up and she's like, "Smith, honey, what would you like for breakfast?" And I was just like,
Gold star,
but
girl.
it was that point, that turning point for him to actually come to the Lord and get saved and get radically saved, where he, then goes on to lead many others to salvation. I am positive that she lays claim to a lot of those salvations, that she's credited for those things because of how she operated and acted. And it wasn't just well, how dare you do this to me? But she operated in a way that pleased the Lord and in a way that was for the betterment of her husband and her spouse.
Now, I'm going to stop you there.
And for a way that works against the flesh, like, can you imagine? Like, most people would.
Yeah.
In fact, like I said, I don't know if I would have responded quite as graciously.
So you have me struggling with the whole moms thing, and now you're telling me even wives. I mean,
a lot of moms are wives, so there's that.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
This sit you down and tell you how the world works.
I'm scared. I don't want to know. I can't. This podcast right now is blowing my mind. I'm having a hard time coming to terms with this. Who else is getting in? Next thing, anybody can at this point. What's going on here?
But I think that's a powerful, really powerful testimony.
Yeah.
Like being in all godly conduct, like allowing the Lord to work through you in such a way, like you're not being ruled by, I'm sure she was
Your
hurt.
emotions.
I'm sure she was angry.
Yeah.
You're not being ruled by those things, but you instead allow obedience to the word of God and allow obedience to Christ to dictate how you walk and how you conduct yourself is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
The woman was a saint.
I'd have been all right.
I'd have been fine with that.
That's a wild story, though. Like I said, that's wild.
Yeah. Mind blowing. Levi doesn't have anything to say about it because he's like, I don't know.
This sounds
Wives,
fishy to me
women.
now. We started with moms, we moved to wives. I don't know.
What
This is
kind of
starting to sound-
propaganda is this?
I thought we were a men's rights channel. Nothing wrong with men's rights, but may have been a little co-opted by a certain other group, but
It's fine.
I thought we were having Andrew Tate on next week. Oh gosh. Come on.
Oh my gosh. Did you guys hear about what's going on in the UK?
Oh my gosh. I watched a video with you and that was something.
Actually, I don't know. Beyond the ID thing? Or is
Beyond the ID thing.
Oh, there's something new?
Maybe you should
I mean,
talk
it's
about
not
the
new.
ID thing too. Maybe
Yeah, they're
people don't know
doing
about
digital
it.
ID to supposedly say, okay, we don't want undocumented, illegal people working. But they already said later on down the road it's going to be for climate change and all these other things. So they're already, setting that
How
up.
many times did you fart today, Nigel?
Now, digital ID, I'm not saying it's mark of the beast, but
You take it on the
definitely
hand or the
sets up-
forehead. So
yeah, it definitely sets up a system for it to be implemented. That's for sure.
I think
But no,
we-
the other thing they're getting on people about now there and trying to pass laws about is banning public preaching and handing out Bibles and praying for people in public, even if they consent, because it could make other people feel uncomfortable.
What?
you got a license to hand out that Bible, mate.
And, they're already arresting people for tweets and all sorts of stuff over there. And now they're really trying to crack down in the UK.
You made
for
this
this
tweet
stuff.
that said, I hate the Antichrist. Now, how do you think that makes the Antichrist feel, mate? That's just hurtful. It's hurtful. We can't accept that over here.
That is hate speech.
This one says, I don't like the devil. The devil's a person, mate. I mean, more like an ethereal being that wants to destroy us, but come on.
Is that? Oh,
Pretty
Oh,
my
much.
word.
So now they're outlawing it. They're trying to.
This one says, I love God. Does that mean you don't love everybody else? Come on. Be a gent.
You're making other people feel uncomfortable.
Oh, really? It's hurtful, mate. You're going to go in jail for that. Do you think I want to put you in there? I do.
I'm making the world a safer place.
No, but bullies like you.
The devil will be spared from your hate speech.
It says the Bible's the truth, mate.
Everyone has their own truth. I have my truth and you have your truth, and your truth is wrong.
It's not wrong. It's just hateful.
It's hateful, therefore it's wrong.
It doesn't even need to be. It could be hurtful. It could be hurtful. That's terrible, mate.
And so I watched this video of this. I looked at that, and then I watched this video of this guy street preaching, getting a citation because what he was saying was causing alarm.
Yeah, of course.
And he's like, well, it's not illegal to preach out of the Bible. It's not illegal. And they're like, well, it's the way you're saying it. You're preaching, and they were saying because you're speaking into a megaphone, it's making people feel uncomfortable. And I'm like, this is going to be real tricky for Christians in the UK to witness, because the gospel
church is dying over there too.
The gospel confronts us and makes us uncomfortable. And so it's like, well,
it's a mirror.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, well, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting
so we
down
need to
to
pray
that
for
time.
boldness for people there that are truly saved and evangelizing and trying to spread the gospel, because it's getting a little hairy over there.
They're getting to be at that point, like that real world persecution. No, I can't talk. What did you give to me, Ben?
And then on top of all that going on, they, a lot of people over there are really fired up about the illegal immigration happening. And I just watched this video. This guy went over there, and they did I think 1 million some people came out to this rally to rally against it and stuff. I mean, it's looking really dicey over there. I mean, it looks like it's bursting at the seams over there in the UK.
Yeah.
All the cops are frothing at the mouth with all those. Like, look at all those bullies we can arrest.
Pretty much.
Like,
get your beating stick out.
And I think the reason why they're in this situation, and why we're in a similar situation, not quite as bad, but similar.
About 6 years behind.
The church is not doing what they're supposed to do. When I went over to the UK, I went to Scotland and England, and went to several different cities and towns and stuff. A lot of the churches turned into bars.
Oh, that's sad. Were there any people like me in Scotland?
There were a lot of people like you in Scotland, actually. A lot of people except Levi, if you start talking in a Scottish accent, you would fit in. You would just fit right in.
I guess I'd have to visit one of those bars.
Although they do drink a lot over in Scotland, which is why their churches have turned into bars.
That's sad.
But
That's
yeah,
sad.
like I tried to go to church on Sunday, and like while I was there both times, and was like, it's hard to just find a church around here.
Yeesh.
And I was in London for one of them, and I was like,
that's
why
not
is it so
surprising.
hard to find like a church?
London's not surprising.
Yeah, but like it's also a huge city. There should be at least one. And there were, but it was just.
It's wild when you take that, you contrast it to like the stories that the renters tell about how people will drive, 6 hours to get to their church?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
People take for granted the fact that we still have quite a few churches.
Yeah. You don't like one, you can pick up and go to another.
Well, that's always what convicts me is, I talked about it before, but it's one of those things where
Because he's been thinking about leaving our church.
It's been tough. I just don't agree with that Ben character. We're getting too theologically different. He thinks that moms and women get into heaven. That bothers me a lot.
But no, it's very convicting when you hear the renters, because, in Russia, when they established their church, there were practically no churches. And people would drive, they'd wake up at like 5 a.m, 4 a.m. to drive 5 to 6 hours just to hear a sermon. And yet, how many people have such a tough time just getting out of bed to go to their church, make excuses for it? It's over there, they realize the importance. We have gotten very comfortable and used to the availability of church, of worship, of even just the Bibles that we have, and we might take for granted. We're not as thankful as we should be for those things.
Right.
And we don't treat them with the weight that they deserve,
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, I agree with that. But it's getting interesting out there. UK is
Hunting bullies, apparently.
hunting bullies, getting online.
Very
checking
subjective bullies.
checking your socials.
Here you said there
Um,
was a hell. Now that's not very nice. That might scare people into thinking there might be people that go there, mate.
Try that with a Scottish accent.
No. The Scottish scare me. They get mad. The
They're-
British can take it in good humor. The Scottish are like, we don't say it like that.
There it is.
You take that back. You're flogged now. We're going to find you. Say goodbye to your house, your family, and your dog.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, they're going to find me now. I told you. I've ruined it.
To have. But apparently, even if you go to the UK starting, I don't know when they're implementing it or anything, but they're saying even if you're a citizen from another country like United States, you're not getting in without being digitally scanned and ID'd and all that stuff. So you have to submit to their digital
Does that include
system.
the illegal immigration?
Oh, no.
The illegal immigrants that are
Oh,
going in
no.
there?
No, if you go in and buy a dinghy, you're fine.
Look at them. They can't help themselves.
Just go and buy a dinghy. You're good.
Okay. I'll go to France first and then
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
get
Cross the channel.
I'll cross with all the immigrants.
Yeah. Cross the channel. You get
Yeah.
I just can't. It's so wild. All of this is so wild. Eventually, they're going to be like, we just think it'd be good in your right hand and your forehead. I mean, that way you're never losing it. Hey, don't you think
Too
that's
many people been losing it.
you won't get arrested?
You want everything shut off, you better do it. That's what happening in Vietnam, apparently.
No, it's actually really twisted
Um,
what they do with people too when they're arrested over there. Like you should
In
look up. I think it was,
Vietnam?
and in Europe. I think his name was Tommy Robinson, and I don't know much.
It is.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I'm
Is
not.
that the guy that we were watching? Okay.
Well, we were watching a documentary
about him.
I can't speak too much on him. I haven't watched a lot of his stuff, but I saw how they handled him and what they did to him in prison, and
Put him in
why
isolation for however many months.
and they put him in
6 or 9 months.
if I'm not mistaken, too, they put him in a prison with a predominantly Muslim population.
I think
they
most
actually
of them are there.
Well, they moved him to it.
Mm.
And by the time the guy gets out, I mean, he looks, if you would look at those World War II documentaries of how the Jews looked when they would come out of the camps, dude lost an absolute ton of weight. He looked gaunt. He looked like, I'll never forget, I was watching some British dude absolutely shocked when he saw him released. And he's like, look what they did to him. Like and it was terrible.
He did look really bad.
Oh, it was horrible. And you look at that and you say, they are torturing people in there.
yeah.
And they're not doing it, they're not torturing them in a sense of them doing it themselves, but they're putting them in positions where they can be.
yeah.
It's
Well,
that
they put him in
persecution.
isolation for that long, and it basically it messed with him.
Well, and I remember like he was saying he couldn't eat the food because again, the inmates would prepare it for him.
Mm.
So it's like you sit there and what they're doing, the very real persecution that is there and that's coming, it's biblical. It's you're seeing the Bible proven true yet again. You're seeing history repeat itself yet again. I mean, you look at how Paul was thrown into prison. We talked about that before. The prison, the kind of prison he was thrown in. And you have it happening in Europe.
Yeah. Vietnam is debanking over 86 million accounts, bank accounts. Debanking them for not by September for not
Accepting it?
doing digital ID.
Oh my
So-
gosh.
There doesn't seem to be a lot of outcry because I kind of researched it to make sure it was like real.
Uh-huh.
But it's true that's happening. You have to comply with their biometric face scan, and then you have to do it again if you're going to transfer so much money, per transaction, all that other stuff.
Be found
And
working.
then they basically, one guy was talking about how he moved out of Vietnam, but he still had a bank account there. They made him fly back just to keep his money in his bank account. And they couldn't transfer it out or anything. Like, so it's just wild stuff like you're seeing like there. So like the digital thing and the digital ID stuff, like, it just gives more and more control to government as they move more towards digital currencies and stuff like that. And I think that's the big issue with digital currency. But But it's interesting to see kind of all of it coming down the pike and all that happening. You're getting arrested for having an opinion on something in the UK. You're getting debanked in Vietnam, and other places have done the same, I guess. But they're not going to be the last ones to do it. That's for sure.
No, I usually think that Europe, it's like America's always 6 years behind. That's kind of how I view it anyways. Usually what you see over there, you eventually see over here.
Yeah.
It's almost like there's a world order of some sort, but we'll leave that for later.
We'll leave that for later.
Where's your tinfoil hat?
Get that out.
New World Order reptilians are coming. They're already here. Get your gorilla mind rush. The only thing that protects you from the waves they send. Psychic vampires, interdimensional aliens. All here, all now.
Yours is on the floor over there. You threw it.
I don't need it. I didn't mean to throw it, though.
Oh, man. But yeah, fun times we're living in. Interesting times for sure. And
would you say they're the end times?
I would say so.
Oh.
I'd say we're getting there. I'd say we're on our way. Our little path, our little boat is
starting to kind of
right down the
streams are starting to kind of
things are tightening around us.
That wave is coming.
I'll never forget. We'll have to talk about this, but there was that trend. We talked about the Trump earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that trend, and it's hard to say how real it was, but when people would record those sounds just coming out of the sky, and it was happening like globally and stuff.
Wait,
and it's,
what?
Oh, you've not seen that?
Well, I didn't quite catch what you were saying.
There was a
like
trend.
these trumpet sounds coming out of the sky that people were recording.
Yeah, around 2015-ish.
No, I haven't.
I don't remember if it was, I think it was later than that.
Maybe. But it was like a global thing. There was videos of people finding like these weird trumpet sounds just coming from the sky. There were tons of videos. Some of them were obviously fake, probably, depending on how many.
Right.
But it was just a weird trend. And they were very believable. The actors were very good in those if they were actors.
Right. It was weird. Yeah, I don't know what came of that or anything like that. But
well, the rapture happened.
Yeah.
We missed it.
But, whether what you're seeing around you, whether we're going to just see more and more evil. The Bible says evil men will wax worse and worse. And the big thing is you want to know Christ, know where you're going for eternity, because this life isn't the end. This isn't where the final destination is. After this life, there is an eternity, and there is a heaven and there is a hell. And Jesus Christ paid the price for us, paid for our sin, so that we could know him and that we could be with him in heaven. And it says that if you believe in your heart and confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord, you shall be saved. And so I want to encourage you to follow after Jesus with all your heart, to just say, Lord, I repent for my sin. I ask that you forgive me. I believe that you died and that you rose again to save me from my sin. If you made that commitment, reach out to us in the comment section or wherever you're listening or watching, and let us know. We have discipleship material that can we can get into your hands and get into a good Bible believing church. So.
The nations tremble, the kingdom shake, truth is fading, hearts awake, voices rise, but few still pray. The night grows darker by the day, signs in the heavens, wars below. The love of many's grown cold, but in the clouds a promise stays. The king is coming, he won't delay. When the trumpet sounds, the dead shall rise. We'll meet our Savior in the skies. The Lord descends with heaven's cry as the world bows to the beast disguised. Hold your faith, don't compromise. Our Redeemer's drawing nigh. When the trumpet sounds, we'll fly for is bright with fire and love. He'll pierce the sky. When the trumpet sounds, the dead shall rise. Dead shall rise. We'll meet our Savior in the sky. You're in your sky. This may roar, but true survive. True survive.